Hi guys!
Welcome to Chubby Chats.
My name is Pamela.
And I'm Astrid. And welcome to the first episode of Chubby Chats. So, just a quick introduction to everyone. We're sisters.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you said I'm Pamela and I'm like, my name is Pamela. Sorry.
So as you can see, it's already chaotic. But basically, we're sisters. So Pamela is 22 years old.
Yep, 3 years older than Astrid.
Yeah, I'm 19. And for a while now, we've both been wanting to start a podcast because, well, we feel like we have
a lot to talk about.
Yeah, like there's so much happens in our lives that we've always just wanted to do something where we can discuss things like not necessarily like our adventures or anything of the sort, but just things that happen. And so, yeah, we decided to start a podcast. And so it's called Chubby Chats because the first name we originally thought, which was Sister Sessions, was taken.
Already taken.
But then I came up with Chubby Chats because these are chats and because we're both chubby. And so these are Chubby Chats. And so basically the podcast is going to consist of chats from all sorts, from Jesus to Formula One to music to current news and life updates.
Entertainment, stuff that we've watched, read, and stuff like that. But just, I would put a disclaimer that just because we're going to talk about Jesus doesn't mean we're going to be just preaching him all the time. Obviously we will, because that's our mission on earth. But, yeah. It'll be, like, lighthearted, you know? Like,
we're actually very relaxed, chill people as
very
well.
liberal.
And a side note right now, if you notice that Pamela every once in a while adopts a new accent, that's just how she speaks. She has some anxiety, and so every once in a while she'll put on an accent. It surprises everyone, but it happens. So in case you notice that, that's why.
I have a speech impediment, okay?
That's what we think because
it's
she
been
can't
going on for a long time.
And then, yeah, basically, I've been talking this whole time, so I was gonna say, why don't you describe us a little bit for the people? I don't mean physically.
Yeah, I know.
As in our personalities for, well, those who
don't know us,
yeah.
Okay, so the best way to describe us is that Astrid is a Ravenclaw Slytherin and I'm a Hufflepuff. And for those who've lived under a rock this whole time and don't know what Harry Potter is, here it is in a nutshell how we are. Astrid is very conniving and smart, but like in an evil way. Like, she's not a bad person. She just is selfish and gets her way. And she's very, like, smart to run circles around people to get what she wants. And I'm the older sister who has just been thinking about clouds and rainbows the whole time. So, like, I would say I'm really smart, but, like, I'm, like, book smart, but not street smart. And my sister is really street smart. She's not book smart. So, like, if you ask me about any historical happening in our history or whatever, like, I'd be right there and meet you up. I love talking. Research is my thing. I love writing and reading essays, articles, all of that. Reading is also my passion. I love caring for people. I'm always cooking for the both of us. But when it comes to, like, thinking outside of the box, I really cannot. Like, funny anecdote, like, last Christmas, Astrid and I were doing decorations for our tree. We were doing some DIY Harry Potter decorations for our tree, and we were, like, cutting the pieces out and all of that, and we glued the, like, pieces that we had on some paper, and, like, all the scraps and bits were, like, all over the table, right? And Ash was like, clean it up, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I had, like, a crackers box.
I gave her a cracker box. I said, use this cracker box to clean it up.
And my brain was like, okay. So I started ripping it apart because I thought she wanted me to use it like a sweep to sweep the bits, and she was just looking at me, and after a while of compiling all the pieces together, I just started laughing because I was like, you meant, like, put the pieces in the box, right?
Yeah, like, basically transform the cracker box into a garbage can and just scoop all the bits into there and then throw the whole box away because we don't need the box. But I just watched as Pamela, carefully, might I add, carefully ripped this box open wide and then scooped the bits onto that piece, that now wide piece of cracker box.
And I was just like laughing, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was harder to transport all the like mess to the bin. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Like, I'm smart until I'm not. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. The more you spend time with us, the more that you'll see how we are. Yeah, I feel like I'm very, like, logical. I don't, like, my sister has very, like, simple humor, I'd say. And for me, it's, like, I have logical humor. Like, she has to really connect the dots for me to be able to laugh at a joke. So, yeah, that's pretty much us. Yeah.
And, yeah, so that's what we're talking about. And then, I guess, a little bit more about us, just as the beginning of the episode. So, yes, we're sisters, we said.
Yeah.
We currently live at home with our parents. We're both in university. Pamela is studying.
Well, I know the name is Spanish, but basically, like, design and communication and graphic design, basically.
And I am studying photography. We've studied in English our whole lives, but we are born in Mexico. We're born.
We are being born.
I was reborn in Mexico too. Anyways.
We had good point, yeah.
We were both born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Pamela in Mexico City, and I was born in a small town a couple of hours, no, just like 2 hours or 1 hour and a half away from Mexico, called Cuernavaca. And so we both speak Spanish, but
yeah.
We both grew up around English schools and speaking English our whole lives. So our mother tongues is very much English, but every once in a while you'll catch us slipping in words in
other languages.
Just because we literally grew up like that. At the age of 4, I was learning 3 languages. Yeah. Well, at the same time, and Pamela at the age of 7. And so, yeah, every once in a while we'll slip in words in other languages, and that's very common with us. Our friends and family know that. And
even our family, like our parents, do the same thing. Like, we have a mixture, I was going to say mistura. We have a mixture of idioms and languages in our head, and that's just how we are. But I feel like it's a very expat thing to have.
Just like a little bit of context, so we were born in Mexico, and then at the age of 4 for me and the age of 7 for Pamela, we moved to Brazil, and then we lived in Brazil for 5.5 years, and then we moved to France, and in France we lived for 4 years, that's right, 4 years, and then from France we moved to Finland, and we lived in Finland 3 years. After the 3 years were over, we moved back here to Mexico, and this is...
Mom and Dad did, and I went to uni for 2 years in Holland, the Netherlands, and then the pandemic started and I came back, and that's where we've been,
and that's where we've been living in since.
But we grew up basically having an expat life because of my dad's work, so
and I think we both, I don't know about you, but we both love traveling. It's just, I guess it's literally how we were raised, and I just amend to that.
I love traveling, but whenever we're in a plane, more recently, I've been having, like, panic over it because I feel like the plane's gonna fall. But, like, it wasn't a thing when we were younger because I think I was, like, oblivious to that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't traveled since the pandemic started. A little bit before that. I think I haven't traveled in maybe 4 years. But we grew up traveling. We're very privileged and thankful and grateful for all of that.
Thank you, Jesus.
But, yeah, we've grown up like that. And so, basically, we speak... Spanish, English, Portuguese, and French. We didn't learn Finnish because it's an impossible language. But I think that something that this brings up that I don't know if we'll talk about in this podcast, but maybe in another podcast, is just, I think, to notice. I feel like when I thought about where I would be right now, our lives and stuff, I think I would have imagined myself still living in Europe. And studying in Europe, but it's fun, I guess, to see how
expectation meets reality.
Yeah, and I still have that goal, you know, to possibly move. Now my goals have shifted, which is funny because
Part of life.
I guess for a lot of my high school years, I had no idea what I was gonna do, and then just very like I took a gap year after high school, where I was genuinely like questioning what the heck am I good at? I don't know what to do. We're both very, very creative people.
Yeah.
We're such creative people, and I think that's also weird because my parents are very mathematical, logical, number
Yeah, they're
kind of
both
people.
accountants, like real accountants, not TikTok accountants.
No, like they studied accounting. My mom actually studied tourism, yeah, but in the end they both did accounting like as a final job, and then my mom stopped working after she had us, but
and became a stay-at-home mom, which shout out to the stay-at-home moms.
Hardest work in the world.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, they're both very numberish people, and my sister and I are complete opposites.
No.
Which
I can barely add. Like, honestly, it's too hard.
math gives us anxiety. But yeah, we're quite the opposite. So I study photography, and you know, I was always like, I like writing as well. So I was like, maybe with photography and writing, I'll maybe be, you know, journalism or something like that. But then recently I've become obsessed with Formula 1. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I become an F1 journalist? And so right now I've been looking at opportunities to find. I actually just saw a girl on TikTok who managed to get an internship at F1 for journalism. So I was like, I'm going to try to get my hands on the next opportunity I see. And ask Jesus to guide me, because
Yeah.
who knows, you know, there's, like, I guess that it's the same thing with all careers in life, but it either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's hard, you know, that's nerve-wracking, I feel like, especially for people our age, and with the pandemic where we've had to reconsider everything from job opportunities in general, because they've shifted so much. But that's something scary, but I mean, I think something that goes in favor of Pamela and I is that we're very much believers.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of faith in God's plan for us, and
Even when things don't go our way.
yeah,
I guess especially then, because then we're like, yeah, whatever. We'll be with you soon.
yeah, but I think we have that in our favor that helps us stay sane.
Yeah.
But that's how you get along. I don't know if you want to add anything else, because I feel like I've been talking too much.
Well, I don't know. I was just going to say, like, I think, like, returning to, like, what we were going to do in life, like, before the pandemic, my goal in life had always to do something creative. Like, the course that I was studying in uni in the Netherlands was geared towards becoming a film critic and a theater critic. And I had a blast there. Like, it was super hard. I was like, I wouldn't recommend it if you're not willing to, like, put in all the effort. But I really enjoyed it. Like, it was philosophy 101 the whole time. And one of the very main things that we studied in our first year was that one of the most human faceted things we can do is tell stories. And that's basically what differentiates. Yeah, thank you. From animals, you know, that the fact that we can tell stories, and that's how we've grown as a society, as humans, that we tell stories. And that goes, I think that's, like, my passion for art, because art tells stories. Like, whether you're, like, listening to a song or music, or reading a book or watching a film or whatever, like, it's all about stories and telling stories, reading stories, you know, all of that. And, like, yeah, like, right now I have no idea what I'm going to do, because my goal was to be a film director, and, well, not director, well, that was the goal, you know, like, I wanted to get there, but film critic and theater critic, and right now, like, that stopped, and I had to restart my studies here, and, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do want to do something film geared still, but, yeah, just, like, if you don't know, they're, like, the entertainment industries between Europe and North America are so different, so I have to, like, rethink everything. So yeah, opportunities are different, and we're just taking it as it comes. But yeah,
sometimes I think it's hard, like, again, especially for people our age. I think for me, what's been hard is seeing which is something that they always tell you not to do, but I feel like just as humans we do, is compare yourself to your friends or your family. And seeing like how far your friends have gotten or what they're doing in life right now. Like just the simple fact of like, I don't know, my friends being able to get a job, or like my friends started to do this and that, or they've been able to travel here and there. And so it's just like, that's I think one of the parts that has been hard for me in seeing like how my friends have had these opportunities and they have these connects and have been able to like basically like keep moving forward, you know, and then just feeling like you're stuck. That's something that's hard, because then you really start questioning yourself, like, am I ever gonna get out of this? Like this is, I don't know, stuckness that I'm in. I don't know the right word, but like I think it's always important to keep reminding yourself, like, don't, you know, no. your way, your path is going to be completely different and distinct from somebody else's, and that doesn't mean that you're, you know, gonna accomplish what you want in 2-3 in months, you know. But it's gonna take the time, and you're gonna get to wherever you're gonna get when God wants you to get there.
I mean, if it's his will, he'll like help us along. But he does want to make us happy. But the most important thing I think for me is like, also like I struggle a lot with that, because my whole plan with the pandemic was, my whole plan for life was like messed up, because I wanted to swear, but I'm not sure if we're swearing here. So it was all messed up, and I had to really think about it, and I talked about it with our therapist, Diana. And you know, I was just like, well, it doesn't mean like plans stop. Maybe like this time right now that we're having, it's like for something, you know, like there's no such thing as time wasted when you're with God. Like you have to learn something.
Who knows, maybe this podcast is gonna be our breakthrough.
Who knows? But yeah, like I don't know, like we have to just see how things happen and how everything progresses. But like when I was talking to her, I was like, you know, one of my biggest things that I wanted to do in life, that's just like one of like mis sueños urbanos, like from over there, like was like I want to spend a year farming in Hawaii.
Dude, me too. Are you kidding me?
I don't know why, but like I really want it, but just like a year, because I feel like after that I just hate it. Like I don't think I would fall in love. Like I want to just experience that chillness, like being around those people, because they exude good vibes, like you know, like, and they're so in touch with nature, and I want to go there, and I want to farm for a year. And like when the first pandemic started, like the first wave started, I was looking at internships, but everybody was like, no, you have to be like from the US or something, because they have such a tight like biodiversity nature thing that they were like, you know, I have to do. But yeah, like that's been calling to me lately. And I was just like, is this a sign, God? Like, do you want me to go there? Do you want me to farm for you?
It's tempting. Like, definitely for me, I've found myself way too many times just being like, okay, so nothing's working, I might as well just escape and then just go live in a farm and become a volunteer.
Everybody has like different dreams. Like some people might want to like be like super successful, famous, like recognized, and that's fine, that's their dream. But some people just literally want to go live in the middle of nowhere and be at peace with animals, or just by themselves. Like dreams change, you know.
But I guess that's all up for everyone individually to find out what the heck's gonna happen, you know. But yeah, I don't know if we should talk about anything else, or if that should be the end of the podcast. I mean, it's almost 20 minutes.
I told you it had to be half an hour. Yeah,
the thing is that obviously this is our first time making a podcast, but well, fun fact, aside from that, Pamela and I used to make YouTube videos. Pamela, I think we still do. I used to make YouTube videos. We started making YouTube videos. And something that I always thought about my videos is that they had to be quick, short, and fun. And so I think that's my perception right now with podcasts, especially it being our first one. Like, hopefully there are people still listening to us.
I mean, different preferences, because when people are having fun and sharing what they like, I love listening to them. Like, Bailey Sarian's, like, I hope somebody's there. Bailey Sarian's.
It's the washing machine.
Okay. Dark History, like, those are an hour and a half, and I love listening to them because she just is hilarious. I love her. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, well, I don't know.
You also don't like history, so I don't know.
These are the difference. No, I don't like history now. No, it's not. People are going to think I'm an ignorant little piece of something.
No.
But no, the thing is that I you know, I appreciate history. I respect history. I am not like completely oblivious. I promise you, I am informed. I know
the nuances of it.
I know enough, but like going into details and sitting,
like you
and
don't know
listening-
about how the Banana Republic started and all of that, right? Like
the
you don't.
store.
No,
No,
about
but-
how like American troops went and got like a bunch of South American lands to like plant bananas and stuff, and then basically
No,
we're
dude.
paying like all the
I
workers
have
with
no
bananas,
clue. And to
and
be
that's why
fair-
they're all poor. That's why we're like this.
No, and the thing is that I don't. If history was done in a fun way, you know what?
Baby
I love.
Sarian does it in a
But
fun
wait,
way.
guys, because I don't know. For those of you that know, when we used to attend a British school, my history class consisted
yeah.
of loads of horrible history
Those are cool,
YouTube
those are
videos,
good.
and I loved history then because that was a fun way to learn history. But I cannot sit through, apart from the fact that I don't like reading, I cannot.
But also,
sit
I feel
through-
like you're very specific in your history because at that time it was the Tudors and the Egyptians, so that was it. And obviously, it was meaty, it was juicy.
the
like,
Victorians too. I learned about the Victorians, the Tudors, the Egyptians, the hieroglyphics, and
and the hieroglyphics there.
but that's the thing, like it has to like catch me, and then I'll read it, and then every once in a while if I find something that intrigues me, then I'll read a little bit about it.
A little
but
bit.
then like sitting and watching a documentary, I cannot. And then going to museums and listening to someone explain to me for like an hour or 2 hours about what happened there, like I'm pretty
That's
sure,
why you
I
should-
do not know, guys, but I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and so I cannot. No, my attention span just can't. So, no, you know, I skip history a lot, but yeah, I'm not ignorant to what's happened,
No,
what's
no.
happening. Like, I'm very thankful for the fact that a lot of our travels when we were young consisted of going to very historical places.
Yeah.
And just a lot. It was just absorbing history. And maybe that's where my my hatred for history comes. It's not
Yeah.
even hatred, but just my dislikeness of history comes from, because I was, like 6, 12 years old,
Yeah.
and then...
It's just our parents, like, they love history, they love culture, so whenever we used to go somewhere, they, like, had the audio guides or, like, a tour guide, and they were, like, explaining everything. Now at this age, we, like, go places, and we're like, whoa,
We
this is
listen,
so
you know?
appreciative.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Wow, you know, but at that point, we're like,
Are
we're
you kidding
looking
me?
at an empty castle.
Yeah, we've been walking for 2 hours. It can't be. But yeah, now I think we have a little more appreciation. Well, I think so. I think now I look back at a lot of places and I'm like, damn, I should have paid attention because that's so interesting. But at that age, it definitely just went over my head. And
You
I
have
was
to
like,
have perception, and I think for us
Yeah.
it was like we'd much rather just not be doing this, like anything but this.
But I think a lot of the, like, something very good that came out of, not that that's the only thing, but like things, I
Counting
think
our
something,
blessings right now.
yeah, it's just something that I think, when I think of like the good of that came with us traveling and stuff, because it is hard, is that I always say that I think Pamela and I became very, very open-minded.
But not just us, I feel like mom and dad too.
Yeah, but the
compared
thing is
to-
that my parents, before leaving Mexico, they were both brought up in very religious Catholic homes. And
Yeah.
so their mindset was very, very, very small and closed, I would say. And so leaving, it definitely expands your views of everything.
Yeah.
Meeting people, getting to know things, seeing things with your own eyes. It expanded a lot of our views in a lot of things. And so
Yeah.
my sister and I, we grew up very different as well, like that, in the
yeah,
sense
obviously that
we're-
like our childhood was way different than mom and dad's. because
Yeah, and
they
so-
grew up in like a very regimented Mexico, like very closed off Mexico, and we grew up different places. Like
Yeah, and so Pam and I have very, 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 very open minds, and I think we've contributed a lot to the fact that my parents have slowly, like, been able to open their minds to a lot of things as
Yeah.
well, and so that's been something that I'm very, very grateful for,
Yeah.
because to me, it's so interesting to see from our point of view, the way we see things, and then look at our family members here. Like, I love my family and my family members, but like my grandparents, my uncles and aunts, they have very
such a
different
different
views
mindset
than us, and it's not to correct. I don't think,
to each
you know,
their
I
own,
don't. Yeah, I don't think we have the right to say who has the right mindset, who doesn't. You know, but I do think Pamela and I are very, very much open to anything at all, really.
We believe in freedom. I think that's very important. Like, you know, we believe in being independent, having your own free will, which I think we'll have a whole other podcast on, like, how we came to know Jesus, because I feel like the odds were against us to like come to know him, and especially the way that we grew up, it just wasn't it.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about that in a different podcast. We'll write all of this down so that we start talking, but I think it's been fun. I mean, I feel like now would be a good time to stop. But I mean, it's
any
fun.
last remarks that you have, maybe dropping your
No, I just think
socials down below.
Oh yeah, well, I just think it's fun. I just want to say to close up, it's fun to do this podcast. I mean, like I said at the beginning, like Pamela and I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time.
And we always have these chats, so it's just share them with the world. You know, somebody can learn something, maybe even laugh at us. I don't know. Like,
I always joke with friends, you know, with my best friend Scarlett. Shout out to her. I'm like, let's start a podcast. Let's start Twitch streaming. Let's start lives, and then we never do. But it's fun because it's very liberating. It's like it's
sorry.
It's like its own kind of therapy.
It tasted like the lasagna.
Ew. Okay.
That's a man.
But yeah, it's been fun, and I'm excited to continue. I don't know if anyone will listen, but hopefully they will. And if you listen until here, well, thank you very much.
Yeah. How often should we post?
I think once a week right now is good.
Okay.
And then see from there. So this is first episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed very much. So our social medias, my social media is
I don't know mine. Don't tell me. Don't tell me to say it.
My social media is Astrid Moreno on Instagram. That's 2 I's, ASTRIIDMORENO on Instagram. And Pamela, who knows, guys?
I mean,
you can follow me, and then I probably have her one of the pictures. Stalk me, and then.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I'm not on any social media. Like, since the pandemic started, I left all of that, which is great for me because that was really toxic for my mindset. But I'm mostly on YouTube. Like, that's like where I'm most active, I'd say. So, like, if you wanna chat it up with me, go to my YouTube channel, Pamela Moera, Moera, and
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this and have
a very blessed day.
Oh my god. Have a blessed day, guys, and see you next time, I guess. Bye.
Bye.